Yeah, Pat used to come see me literally every single day, so I was chilling. I was like,
so he came up every day? Every visit?
For the first year, he came literally every single day. When you're in a max, you have a visit every day, except for it alters on the weekends, Saturday or Sunday. So literally
every
the first
day.
year.
How far is Stafford Hills from?
It's about 45 to an hour, depending on traffic.
So he was running up there every day, like coming up there.
Yeah, it got to a point where I had to tell him, like, yo, like, I'm good. I'm all right. Like, and I guess, like, when he believed it, that was all right, and I was like, he was like, all right, cool. And then he'll come, like, a little bit less. He'll come, like, 3 times a week. Or, like, you know, but it still seemed like he was there a lot. I spoke to him literally every day. I don't think a day went by unless I was locked that I didn't speak to him on the phone every day.
When you first got locked up, you and Pat wasn't married yet?
No.
So did you know that he was going to be there and stand up the way he stood up?
No.
What do you think made him like such a good support system to you? Like, why did he, on his end, like, why do you think he stood by you like that?
I mean, if I had to take a guess, I'm fire.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to...
Who better?
I mean, how was she through this whole process of sitting in prison, having you, and of course you probably bring her son, sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely brought her son. Her mother would come, because her mother lived down south, so she would fly up whenever she had time and visit. You know what I'm saying? Her brothers definitely would visit when they, everybody got their own lives, so whenever they had time, they came up and visited and supported. But me, I was visiting her every day.
Dope.
And also, what was crazy was, around the time when that happened with Rem was around the same time everything happened with my label. So I was in a space where I really needed to rebuild, start all over and focus. But at that point I was like, this is more important. I need to focus on my wife. And I just visited her every day. And she used to tell me like, yo, you can't do this. And I just visited her every day. And she used to tell me like, yo, you can't do this. You got to focus on your career. And I was like, yo, I don't care about that. So everything just got worse for me at that time. Like, my whole world came crashing down.
Wow, I haven't heard this part of the story before.
Oh yeah, man. I hit rock bottom around that time, man. Like, it was real bad. You know what I'm saying? But I knew that she needed me, so I really didn't care about nothing that was going on with me. I was in the free world. So I just made sure I focused on her, because when she blew trial, like normally somebody blow trial, they'll say, all right, we're gonna give you a certain amount of time and you gotta come back, turn yourself in and do your time. But when her lawyer requested that, they was like, no, remand right now. So she just got snatched out of society instantly. They didn't give her a chance to pack her crib up, situate her son or anything. So I had to do all of that. I had to make sure everything was right and try to juggle everything at the same time. And at the same time, I had to make sure she was all right mentally, because I knew behind that wall, that shit ain't no joke. So I'm like, yo, I gotta make sure me and her are communicating constantly and I'm visiting as much as I can.
Right, because at the time, didn't you have 3 kids of your own?
Yeah.
So let's not forget that part of the equation.
Oh, definitely. There were actually times where I brought my kids with me to see her when she was away. You know what I'm saying? They came a lot, and we maintained our family bond as much as we can through that prison wall. So we would get conjugal visits, and I would go shopping, get all of the food, put the kids in the car, and we would all stay with her for like 3 days at a time. Whenever we were able to get those type of visits. So, we maintained our family through the prison wall.
Papoose is finally living his own life without guilt, no longer tied to the drama of being with someone like Remy Ma. For years, he stood by her, even visiting her every single day while she was in jail. He didn't ask for money or anything in return. He simply wanted to be there for her. Rumor has it, he's moved on now and has a new queen in his life. Hopefully this time, he's found someone who won't tarnish his name or take his loyalty for granted. Despite his unwavering support, Remy Ma didn't seem to appreciate Papoose. In fact, during her time in jail, she reportedly felt overwhelmed by his daily visits and even asked him to back off. He was just trying to support her, to show his love, but she would have preferred if he stayed away. And some people say that's what he gets for being so devoted. For men who give their all in relationships, maybe this is a lesson. Sometimes your partner doesn't want you to be all in. Papoose's situation serves as an example for many men. Even when you give your heart, time, and energy, it doesn't guarantee your partner will value it. He held her down when she was at her lowest. But instead of gratitude, it seems Remy took advantage of him. She knew he was loyal and devoted, but that didn't stop her from stepping out and betraying him. If the rumors are true and Papoose is now out here living his best life, no one can blame him. He's earned the right to move on, and if he decides to get married again, hopefully it's to someone who matches his energy and respects his commitment. Their relationship raises questions about whether the love was ever real. Some believe Papoose stuck with Remy because he saw an opportunity. At the time, his rap career wasn't thriving, and she was the most promising thing in his life. People speculate that he saw potential for them to become a hip-hop power couple, like a bootleg Jay-Z and Beyoncé. If that's true, both of them used each other. But was there ever genuine love in their partnership? Or was it all about building a brand together? During her time in jail, Papoose visited her without fail, day after day, bringing her food and showing up with consistency that even her own family and friends couldn't match. Her mother, brothers, and others only visited when it was convenient for them, but Papoose? He made it his full-time job to be there. Some speculate that even Remy herself questioned his motives. Why would someone show up every day without expecting anything in return? Was it love? Or did he have an ulterior motive? It's easy to see why people might think Papoose was looking out for himself. Some allege that while Remy was behind bars, Papoose had other women supporting him financially, paying for his travel and expenses so he could visit her. If that's true, then both of them were playing games with each other. When Remy got out of jail, she might have started piecing things together. Maybe she realized that his loyalty wasn't as pure as it seemed. Still, what stands out is how the roles in their relationship seemed reversed. Papoose took on the caretaker role, cooking, cleaning, and holding things down, while Remy was out chasing her own interests. Traditionally, it's women who put their lives on hold for their partners, but in this case, Papoose did it for her. And how did she repay him? By stepping out on him and betraying the man who had been her rock. There's no doubt this betrayal stings even more because of how public their relationship has been. They presented themselves as a strong couple, but now that the truth is out, it's clear there were cracks in their foundation all along. Remy likely felt some resentment too. After all, they didn't truly know each other before she went to jail. Their bond was formed while she was behind bars, which might explain why their relationship lacked the depth and mutual understanding needed to withstand challenges. Some say Papoose stayed with her because he thought their partnership could elevate his status. Others believe he genuinely loved her, but didn't know how to balance his devotion with his own needs. Either way, their story serves as a cautionary tale about relationships where one person gives too much while the other takes advantage. Now that Remy is free and the truth has come to light, people are talking. Allegedly, Papoose has moved on, and his new partner is someone who values him in ways Remy didn't. Meanwhile, Remy might be feeling the weight of her decisions. If she's crying over losing Papoose, many believe she brought it on herself. It's hard to feel sympathy for someone who had everything: a loyal partner, a fresh start, and still made choices that caused her relationship to crumble. Even their peers in the industry have stayed quiet about the drama. Fat Joe, who has plenty to say about other people's situations, hasn't spoken up about this mess involving his close friend Remy. Maybe it's because the situation is too complicated, or perhaps he knows there's more to the story that hasn't been shared publicly. Whatever the case, Papoose's experience is a reminder that loyalty and love are not always enough. Sometimes, people don't appreciate what they have until it's gone. If Papoose is now with someone who treats him better, good for him. Everyone deserves to be with a partner who respects and values them. As for Remy, she'll have to live with the consequences of her actions. She had a man who stood by her through thick and thin, and she threw it away. If Papoose truly has moved on and is happier now, then maybe it's a sign that he's finally putting himself first. After everything he went through, no one can fault him for that. In the end, their story is about more than just one couple. It's a reflection of how relationships can become unbalanced and how important it is to choose partners who value and respect you. Let this be a lesson for anyone listening. Love isn't just about what you give, it's about what you receive in return.